Come here. Welcome to the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show, live every Sunday on Leicester Fan TV. Come on, you Foxes. Good morning, Foxes fans. How the devil are you today? How's your weekend been so far? Well, it's been another international weekend. How bloody boring they are. But you know what day it is. It's Sunday. It's 10 a.m. It's time for the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show, run by us fans in here for you fans out there. And you know what? Your opinion really matters. So get them comments in now. Let's get it going. It's kick-off time. Come on, you Foxes.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Foxes Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.
Morning all, how the devil are you? I hope you're well, I hope you're good. Morning Patrick, morning Andy, I hope you're well. Rather controversially, I'm going to start with something. Morning LCFC Grey, how the devil are you? I haven't seen you for a while, I hope you're well. Well, like I say, rather controversially, I'm going to start with, I must admit, I'm starting to climb the wall over to the dark side, like a lot of you fans are. I'm still not there yet. The only problem that I've got is that December's coming. We've got a lot of games in a short period of time. If we get rid of the manager now, remember, we still have a manager, even though people are still saying, oh, let's get him, let's get who, that one, this, that, and the other. I'm just worried about the time scale of everything, the amount of games we've got. Can he implement his ideals and tactics in such a short period of time to give everyone a bit of light so they don't get on his back straight away? I'm just a bit worried about that. That's the only thing. But like I say, controversially, after how I've been, which, by the way, according to some people, I'm not allowed to change my mind. I've got to stick to my mind no matter bloody what. It's just, some people seem to think I'm not allowed to change my mind. But on that note, and this isn't one of them, young Reedy's not one of them at all. How are you, pal?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Controversial by me, that, isn't it?
Yeah. It's nice to see some people realising the not the inevitable, but what a lot of people have been seeing throughout the last couple of weeks.
Like Mark says, morning, Jamie. Some question. How long do you give Cooper before the damage is irreparable? Oof, that's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, it's not irreparable now, but do you give him till Christmas and then hope? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one, Mark. It's a tough question. It's a good question, but it's a tough one. I don't know, Reedy. Can you answer that? How far do you give him? I mean, like I said, it's a tough international. After this international break, which is absolutely crap yet again, you've got Chelsea on the Saturday, Brentford away, then you've got West Ham, then you've got Brighton, and then you're nearly at Christmas time, aren't you? That's the Brighton's on the 8th. Then you've got Man City and Liverpool over the Christmas period of game. You've got Wolves just before. Is it 22nd or 23rd of December, I think?
23rd, I think.
Something like that. It's tough. It is really tough. If a new manager comes in, he's got to hit the ground running straight away, isn't it?
See, this is what a lot of people have been saying to me, saying even Phil, he said to me, if you do sack the manager now and the new manager comes in, do you still give him the same 11 games? And then if he's not doing well, sack him as well? I'd say no, because these next 10 fixtures now, or 9 after the Man U game, are very, very tough. And as much as people say every game in the league's tough, I get that. But I can only see maybe 2 or maximum 3 games where you could say you've got to get the most out of the points there. But again, it all depends on what people feel about it. I don't think Cooper's the man to take us there, or to get us to get us out of this game, out of this bottom three scrap in a way. I know we're not there yet, but there's a lot to talk about, and there's a lot to see why I don't think he's doing it. But what is the point where it's unrepairable? I would say the next 9 games. Again, you've got a whole new set of fixtures after when you get to halfway through the season, where you could probably say it's there for the taking for a new manager to come in. But in my personal opinion, I don't want to give him that many games. I want to give him as many games as possible, and that means giving him now or maybe in the next couple of games. Because again, you've got West Ham where they're not playing too good, and a new manager come in and get as many points as he can out of that. So if you don't get the points against these sort of West Hams or Wolves or anything, then where is the manager going to get points from if it's not Man City or Liverpool?
Yeah. Macca, yes, I'll see you on Saturday because I'm there for the Chelsea game. If you want to come and see me before or after, whatever you want, I'm there. But yes, Macca, I'm there. And I've got my earmuffs ready for you, Macca, because I'm right in literally the seat in front of you. So I'm looking forward to you on that one. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? When is it irreparable? Like I say, it's a hell of a question to be asked for this time in the morning. Gareth has said Cooper just doesn't fill in with confidence. It's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, he was the only one that we're going back onto this. There was a comment earlier that I put up from Ryan saying we should have never signed him. But he was the only one that actually wanted the job. Others wanted the job, but Potter wanted extra 200,000 and his staff as well. That would cost us an absolute fortune. But it's just one of them things. He was the only one that really wanted it.
Yes and no. I think there was the big reason why I think a lot of managers didn't want it at that time was because of that point deduction coming in, which a lot of managers would have thought it's not worth the risk to come in and try and basically do the impossible to keep us up. Because again, now, for instance, if we got the points now taken off, we would be probably at 0 now because we've got 10 points. It probably could have been a 10-point deduction, so we'd still be bottom of the league right now. So there's every chance that a manager who didn't want to come in for that. But on the other hand, now you have got a lot of managers. People are asking who would you bring in. There's a lot of managers now that you can see that can come in or would come in because we are in an okay position and they could improve us. Whereas, like I say, Van Nistelrooy has just left Man United, who has just done well in the last couple of games since he's been in charge for the last couple of games, and he's done well. So there is many managers that could come in. I think we're already too late if you want to sack not Rodgers, bloody hell. If you want to sack Cooper,
just time traveled, you have.
No, I don't think the time is now to sack him. If it was the case, because I think we should have done it last week, while the international break started. But yeah, it all depends on when you want to do it now. If they were, because I don't think it's going to happen because the position we're in isn't the worst, as in the place in the table. But all depends on how we do, because I think if you do lose to Chelsea, and then the big game out of them 3 really is Brentford, which again is going to be a hard game away, of course it is. But out of the ones we've got coming up, that is probably one of the easier ones. And if you don't get a point there, then you go to the West Ham game, and if you don't win there, I think that's where you'll start to see a lot more talk about is this time up for Cooper.
Well, yeah, it's I don't know, it's hugely tough. It's like you say, we've got a new set of fixtures, but we're only playing the second round of fixtures, aren't we?
But that's the thing. We've played the easier half, and as much as people say, yeah, every game's hard, we have on paper played the easier games in the first 10 games.
Here's one for you. I mean, a lot of people have mentioned Ruud van Nistelrooy over the last couple of days. Do you think he would really come? Probably not.
Yeah, I think he would.
Do you think so?
Yeah. Again, he was where was he at before? I think he was it Feyenoord or something like that in the Dutch league. Again, not every manager wants to come just to be a manager, big team. Again, any team in the Premier League, in my eyes, are a quite big team because they're playing in the best league possible. In my views, the Premier League is the best league in the world. So all depends. Yeah, sorry, Scott said PSV before. So and they were doing brilliantly last year, I think, or maybe the year before that. But I'm sorry, if people think we can't get certain managers because of where we are on the table. Leicester at the moment are a big club on the board because we're in the Premier League. Ipswich are a big team. They're in the Premier League.
Just so you know, Joe, right at the very beginning, I was very controversial. I said I'm starting to climb the fence to the dark side that a lot of other people have gone. So I'm not fully there yet, but I am. Yes, I am starting to lean that way. It was a bit of it. I was saying to Reedy before we came on that when I was watching the Man U game, it was the first time literally I just sat there watching it, and I couldn't get excited. I wasn't shouting at the TV. It was not mind-numbingly boring, but I could see the mistake. And when Christensen didn't head that ball, I thought, they're going to score from here. They've got to throw, and they scored. It's the same. It's the basics that are being not done well. The simple basics. If in doubt, clear it out. Head the ball, don't let it bounce. Simple things like that are not being done. And I'm not sure whether that's the players lacking in confidence or it's Cooper's tactics. But I think it's a merge of both, to be honest, really.
I think for me, I've said it many times already, and I don't get. People always think if you've got the best players out there, if you're not winning, then they're not good enough. It's not that. In my eyes, it's all about a chess game. Any team can beat anyone on any day. Man City, we could beat Man City on any day if you get that system and style right. If you can get the tactics on point and know what you need to do to combat them, then I've got every chance in winning that game. And I don't think Cooper's got that in his locker. I honestly don't. I don't think he knows how to set a team up right. You can see it. JJ always on his own. If anything, people are blaming Justin for being the one where the goal always comes from. He's getting absolutely left alone. There's no one else to help him. You've got Buonanotte on that right wing, and then he always cuts into the middle. It means that there's no one on that right-hand side to help JJ out. You've got Christensen, who doesn't really bomb up the wing, but as a centre-back or a third centre-back when in the attack, he's not a centre-back. We're playing players out of position in a way, but it just doesn't work. And the way we're setting up midfield as well, it just doesn't seem like it's like cohesioning together. It's not working together. And then again, you've got the wingers where instead of having Fatu bombing down the wing, he's got Mavididi who gets used basically useless when he's in positions. He's not setting his team up right, and that's one big reason why I don't think he's the man for the job.
Yeah, it's not quite breaking news. It was done before the show. I was going to bring it on later, but as Locks has put there, the Chelsea game, unfortunately, it looks like Ayew and Fatua are both injured, which means Vardy might be out. Ricky P's out. It's going to be tough.
It's looking a bit hard, isn't it, mate?
I mean, you think about playing Mavididi up top. I'm thinking of going to the under-18s and getting that. I'm not going to say his name because I think I might get it wrong. Jeremy Mongo. I'm not quite sure.
Someone will put it in the chat. But see, that's the thing now where, yes, Cooper's got a job on his hands to think who's going to be in that striker spot, who's going to be in that right wing spot. And Jason there says, yes, Daka may be back. What if the occasion is where he's not back? I was shouting for Edouard to come on when we played Man United. I don't think that was the right idea, but I'd rather have a striker up front. But who'd you play? In my eyes, the only reasonable striker, if Daka's not fit, is Mavididi. And again, people would be like, he's not good enough, but he's a bigger threat than Ayew, who now is injured. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. There's going to be many issues with the team on against Chelsea.
Stranger things have happened. You never know. Young players have. I know you don't see it that much. And I know it's been a bit of a dinosaur yet again, but it has happened in the past. Youngsters have come in and done a job. You never know, but I do think he's. I think he's a little bit too young. But stick Yannick up top. Oh, I'm not too sure about that. Talking of Yannick, did you see the Danish media on his 50th cap? Gave in his last game, which was Friday night, I think, gave him 1 out of 6.
Is that a good or bad one?
That's bad.
Oh,
but my thing is, why are the Danish media doing it out of 6? Why not 5 or 10?
Weird. It's probably because they're weird like that. They like doing a random number.
It was his worst ever performance, and they gave him 1 out of 6. It was more out of 6 that I was a bit confused about. The 1 I could quite understand, but after 6 is a little bit. Jono says Edouard, he might have to start, which Edouard was a last minute. Well, it was an emergency loan. That's slightly different. That is emergency loan. He came in before the end of the thing.
It was on the day of the. He was a bit of a rush signing in my eyes.
Daka, no, he disagrees with you, Reedy.
All I'm going to say is, and I'm not saying this because I like Daka.
Just because the Vikings, Jason, doesn't mean they've got 6 fingers.
Great. Who would you start up front if you don't want Daka? There's no other choice.
I know if there's no.
Obviously, you could do Edouard, but everyone says he's a waste of time.
Edouard.
That's his name, mate.
Edouard.
See, Gray says here another waste of money. So who would you start up front if it's not Daka or Edouard? And don't say Vardy because he probably is injured. So who would you start against Chelsea? In my personal opinion, I honestly think this is where we're going to get a bit of a humbling against Chelsea. I think we're going to get quite a few bastards.
Just with the on team that we've got. Owen Palmer-Atkins has tweeted it as well. So it's not just the Ghana officials have done it. It's probably, and AU's going for a scan, which sounds more serious, an MRI scan, which is a bit more serious than just a scan. So probably something is wrong with him. But like
so you say, you'd rather start Vestergaard up front. Okay.
Daka has got to come good this century, surely. Yes, he has got to come good. Remember, he played with Haaland. He made Haaland look good. Not sure. We're also missing Bowen Naughty as well, aren't we?
Oh,
from the Chelsea game. Yeah, he got booked, didn't he? He got booked.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't a booking as well.
It was. Well, you look in the book, pal, and it's a yellow card. It's a yellow card all day long.
Well, let's just say this: there's going to be a lot of talking points in the tactics talk with me and Sam on Thursday.
Would you recall Cannon? Chris Tidd said, "Would you recall Cannon?" But there's got to be some kind of. I think there's got to be something put in the contract that he can be recalled in the January window. But the problem is, I have with Cannon, he scored 7 goals, 7 goals in about 11 games, I think it is. 4 were in one game, and 3 have been penalties.
Yeah, I did see that.
That's the only thing.
I get the point of it, but the way we're playing at the moment, there's no doubt about it. I would start Daka. Yes, he'd be my first choice if it's not Vardy, but.
Not quite this time yet.
Well, it could be, mate. It could be. Okay. I'm sorry. Hey, I don't want to be negative like this, but with the team that we've got, to choose from against Chelsea, and with Enzo being their manager now, I honestly could see this being the first smashing of the season.
Well, Scott, Ricky P, if he's out for 4 months, that's end of February. There's no guarantee that he's going to be available to play until April time. And we did it with JJ, didn't we, 1 year, a few years ago? JJ was injured. He came back in March. Oh, it was when we got relegated, wasn't it? And Dean Smith says, I wish I was able to play him. So you never know. Ricky P, will he be in the final 25, 26, 25, isn't it?
Probably not.
There's one thing for sure. KDH hasn't been playing any game time at all for Chelsea in the Premier League. I think he's played about 89 minutes in the league for Chelsea, but I do believe he will start against Leicester.
No shot there.
No, that will not be a shot. And there's been lots of talk of him going on loan, but it hasn't worked, has it? It hasn't worked. I honestly think part of the Enzo deal was if we allow you to go, you've got to take Dewsbury Hall with you.
Maybe so.
To try and cure our financial. That's the only thing.
It's annoying because when Enzo went, and then when they did get KDH, I was very shocked. Like in my eyes, people were saying yes, he's going to be another Drinkwater, and he never plays. But because of how he plays and how well he slotted into Enzo's system last year in the Championship, I honestly thought he would be a starter for him, and that's because of the way he was playing with him. He did suit that 8 role very well. I was very surprised he's not been playing as much as he has done. So maybe he does go on loan in January. Maybe he goes on loan in the end of the season. I don't know, but I don't think he's going to want to stay there when he's just played at 48 games or whatever it is in last season, He wanted to go somewhere like that to play more games. He wants to play football. That's the one sort of player that you want to see. He wants to play football over just taking the money.
See, I must admit, I was getting a bit like that under Brendan Rodgers, to be honest. And Enzo, the football was that boring. I was starting to lose interest in it. I really was, Jason. I'm not, like I say, it's getting that way a little bit now, but I lost interest in it. It was hard work watching them, and it's starting to become that way now, really. I mean, even you're looking bored now, just talking about it.
Hey, you know me. I like my possession-based football. I like my tiki-taka style of football. I get people aren't happy with it, but when you do this sort of thing, there's obviously a reason to the madness. There was a reason why most of the time last year we played a centre-back pass to a midfielder pass just to come back to it. There was always a reason for every single pass that we did. Whereas this year, I just don't think there's anything tactically going on. I just think he's putting the best 11 players out there he can and trying to just try and win the game for me. He even tried to go back to the Enzo system after 7 or 8 games because he didn't think the way he was playing was working. So it just shows you. I don't think he's tactically inept to even manage a team in the Premier League. I think he's at best a Championship manager.
You might be right, but like, I've got a mosquito in here. Hold on. There we go. Got it. Don't want to get bit by a mosquito. Come on, Reedy. Look at the players Chelsea have. KDH was always going to struggle to get in there.
Maybe so. I think because of the system that we were playing and how well he slotted in, it might have took time for certain players to get in. I'm not saying I thought he was going to play more than he has. I'm just saying that. I'm not saying he should be a starter, but yes, Cole Palmer, he's never going to get in front of him. But there's players that are having to learn this system from get-go, from the start. That's where I thought maybe he'd start from the start of the season and slowly get into the team. But he obviously hasn't, and there's obviously better players than him. So, again, he should come on loan. I don't know who to. I've heard Villa, but if anything, if he had the right choice, he'd come back to Leicester and try and keep us up.
Well, you'd hope so, wouldn't you? You'd definitely hope so. But I can't say. I don't know whether there's some kind of rule about that you're not allowed to go back to your previous club on loan, or so. I do not know. But I know there's a rule about you can't play at 3 clubs in 1 year. But I don't know about the rule whether you're allowed to go back to your same club before the 6 months is up. I'm not 100% sure on that.
I couldn't tell you.
This one, I don't think. No, I don't think he's lost the dressing room at all. I don't think he has, to be honest. Reedy, do you think he's lost it? Are the players not putting in a shift because of him?
I've not seen as much fight as we have done in the first couple of games. I will say that. I think the fight that we had and the passion we had in the first maybe 5 or 6 games was there, but I think we've lost it a bit, and I do think we're on a negative downfall in how we play. But I do think the players are getting frustrated with how we're playing, in my eyes, because again before the Forest game we were playing Cooper's system, and then when we played Forest we were playing the Enzo style of football, and maybe the players have gone, we're not happy with this system, we want to go back to what we did last year because we know it and we understand it, and that's maybe where Cooper's kind of gave in and said let's do it. So
yeah. Answer to your question, Mark, is yes, I would love to have KDH back in the team. I think that'd be absolutely brilliant if he did. But like I say, I don't know whether I don't know. I really don't know whether he'd want to come back. Would it be seen like taking a step back because he's left us, or is it because he wants game time? Because he's not getting a lot of game time. Did he ever have the dressing room? Mm-hmm.
It's like someone like Ross Barkley. He's been everywhere. He's been Chelsea. He's been Everton. He's been all over the place. And now he's what? I think he's at
Villa.
Is he at Villa?
Yeah, he's at Villa.
I thought he was at Ipswich, but
no, he's at Villa.
Well, either way, that sort of player, it's like he's a good enough player, but he's gone to a lot of clubs where he's not been able to get in. So someone like Gisbuel, was he too good for us? I don't think in certain attributes he was amazing, but he was a lot better than a lot of players we have right now. I will agree with that.
Yeah. We're coming to that time of the year again. It's the January transfer window. If you've still got Cooper, Are you going to let him have
No.
all the money, or
No.
it's? I don't know. I really
I
don't.
wouldn't give him a penny. In my opinion, I wouldn't, because it's too much of a risk. If you're getting to the January window with Cooper in charge, I don't know what I'd do. Again, I'd want someone else in before then to give them a fresh look at the team. You don't want to bring Cooper's players in, and then a new manager comes in and says, "I don't want these now." It's a waste of time.
Yeah,
There's no point doing that. It's like Suter last year, or the
year
year we
before.
got relegated. We brought him in for the Rodgers system, and then, like I say, I know it's a new year last year because we're in the Championship, but someone like Christiansen didn't fit into Enzo's system. So then, at that point, he was basically a useless player for us. So that's why we put him on loan to Bologna. I know he's better now because he's playing with us now, but I just wouldn't give a manager who is at risk of getting sacked or who doesn't look like he's going to stay on any money.
So, like Jonathan has said, so don't spend the money and get relegated.
It's a double-edged sword. I don't know what to say. Do you give him the money because it might not work? I don't know.
I know, like you say, like in my mind,
Would you give him
I
the
don't
money?
know. It's like you say, it's a catch-22, isn't it? It's a catch-22. You're just not sure what to do. Do you give them the money and hopefully you get some quality players in that want it? I just don't know. It's a tough one, isn't it? You can get the players in and it could work for you. You could get some players in and it's not going to work for you. It depends.
But the thing is, he's brought in a lot of players already, in my opinion, that are basically useless. Bobby Reed, he's not even a footballer. I'm sorry, he's shit. He is shocking.
There's a Fulham mate that lives here, mate of mine. He doesn't understand why Fulham didn't give him a new contract because he was brilliant for Fulham.
He's shocking for us. Every time he's kicked a ball, he said that when he shoots, he goes to the bloody throw-in. He can't take a shot at all. Again, someone like Golding, I know he's young, but
he has been injured
him.
though. He has got injured.
I didn't know that, but either way, when he's
just
fit,
come back to injury.
Play him. Yes, he's using Sumare now, but there's certain players that I just don't think really we've done much with.
So, like Andrew Miller says, who wants to come here in a relegation battle? You're only going to get people that are not playing regular football, that are not up to speed, and maybe the odd Championship player, maybe, but not one of the top players that are challenging for it, that are challenging for the title in the Championship. So
the thing is, you might never be in a relegation battle. Right now, we're not in a relegation battle as of now.
I think we're always going to be in a relegation battle, weren't we?
Well, it depends, because I honestly think if a new manager comes in and he gets the team firing again and going, for me, we could never be in that bottom three. I'm not saying to go top 10. I'm just saying we could be in a position where we're mid-table, like a Palace throughout the years, who are always just floating around 10th, 12th, or 13th, 14th, and feel like you're safe. Yes, I know John Ottawa says, yes, we are in a relegation battle. Right now, we're not. No teams are really coming to us saying, you want to get stuck into this. We could be, if we beat Chelsea, we're nowhere near the bottom three. I'm just saying that right now, we're not battling for bottom three in a way. In my eyes, yes, we might be in the next couple of weeks, but for me, we're not in a relegation just yet.
See, I beg to differ there. To me, yes, we're in 15th place, which is we've got 10 points. We could have had 2 or 3 more points more, which would have only got us up 2 more places to 13th, I think, maybe 12th, I think. You always get one team dragged into it that you don't think is going to be involved in that relegation battle. But I don't think it's going to be us because I think we are actually in a relegation battle. But I knew this at the beginning of the season. I did say that we were in a relegation battle from the very beginning. Everyone that kept saying, well, we've got the squad to stay up, we've got the squad to be challenging for a top 10 position or mid-table. But then all of a sudden, everyone was saying, we've got 17th place is a pretty decent season for us. Now, all of a sudden, because Stevie Cooper got the job, people are saying, oh, no, we didn't want him, blah, 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 points deduction this, points deduction that. Everyone's changing their mind now. All of a sudden, they're saying, oh, we've got a decent squad to be that high. We just need a decent manager. I've been saying from the very beginning, I'd be happy with 17th. I'd be 100% happy with 17th. Yes, we're in a relegation battle, but I would be 100% happy with 17th for this year.
Yeah, of course we would.
Look at Stoke. Stoke used to be in the Premier League. They had about 10 years of being mid-table, getting the odd European place, getting the odd semi-final of the FA Cup. Or did they get to the final? No, they got to the semi-final, didn't they? Got to the semi-final of the FA Cup. Their fans were loving it. Their fans were loving it going on Europe every so often. Their fans loved it. You need to stay up. The first year, you need to stay up and build on it. Not aim for 10th, 9th, 10th, 11th. Your first
No,
season.
no. I'm not saying we should be getting there. I'm just saying that if we get a manager that's quality enough to know what he's doing with his team, we could be in that position where we're like a Palace from the years gone, where they are just floating around that middle section, where they don't need to worry about if they lose a game, we might be down in the bottom three. I'm saying that we could be that. Maybe not. But I would like to see us not be worrying about if we need to get these 3 points or we need to make sure we don't lose this game. I want to get to a point before the end of the season where we've got, do you know what? We don't need to have pressure on us to win games.
But surely that has come from the pressure of, oh, we need to win this, we need to come that. Has a lot of pressure come from the toxicity of the fans? And certain fans have said, even before, we know loads of them. Certain fans have said, oh yeah, didn't want him from the start, didn't want him before we signed. Let's get him out. Let's get him sacked in pre-season. And there's been a lot of people saying that. You've got to give him a chance. But everyone was saying, as soon as Enzo left, oh, let's get 17th. 17th is fine. Now, all of a sudden, that we're in a bit of a bad run. Sorry, we're in a bit of a bad spell with only winning 2 out of the first 11. People are now saying, oh, well, we've got a lot better squad than a good manager would get us to mid-table quite easily with a good manager. How do you know Potter's going to come in? I'd love Potter. I'd have absolutely loved Graham Potter at the start of the season. How do you know?
See, that's
would have said, how would you know Graham Potter would have got us to this with the squad we've got? Has anyone got crystal ball or time travel?
We don't know that. And all I'll say is, and I already said this before, if we did bring a new manager in and we still got relegated, and the amount of fans would say we should have kept Steve Cooper, he probably could have kept us up. We wouldn't have known that. That's the first thing. We would not have known if we did get rid of Cooper if he would have kept us up. But I'm saying, in my opinion, I think our players have more ability and more quality in them than we are using right now. I just think the way we've set up and the style of play we're playing under Cooper, I just don't think they're getting the most out of the players in my eyes.
See, Nick Moore was one of the biggest advocates for Cooper in. Now he's changed. It's fair enough. Everyone's allowed their own opinion, which is fine. You can change your mind. Although I've been told I'm not allowed to change my mind. I've got to be a solid Cooper in no matter what. I'm not allowed by certain people and fans out there. They know who they are, but I'm not going to say it on here. But you are allowed to change your mind. And it's fine. You can change your mind if you want. I'm halfway to changing my mind already. Not fully there, but I'm halfway to changing my mind already. But I think we're in this situation because the toxicity of certain fans got on his back before, and he wasn't given a chance. Yes, he might have not been the man that everyone wanted. He might have not been the Messiah that everyone wanted. The godlike figure, the Brendan Rodgers, like, oh, I've got a Dolce & Gabbana belt. Here, look at that. He might not have been that kind of man, but it's what we had to work with.
No, I get you. I think the last comment there is Nick Moore's comment about we reacted far too late for Rodgers. Now we need to be more proactive and roll the dice. I'm not saying that right now is the time to get rid of him. I'm just saying that I'm not happy with him and I'd like to see it changed at some point in the next couple of games. But you can't give him that long. If you give him the next 15 games and then you decide to get rid of it and you don't stay up because of it, then I'd say I told you so, because I don't want to see us wasting these games. If you get past the Brentford game, you lose it. Past the West Ham game and lose it. They're two massive games where a new manager could come in and win them games. I'm not saying we're going to win them, whoever the manager is. But you've got to give the manager, if they come in, enough games to be like they're winnable games to keep us in the league. If you go past them and you get rid of all them, then I honestly don't think you're going to give him much of a chance.
Yeah, like Mark Gatwood has said, the proof is in the pudding. Jamie would have, should have, could have. We work with what we have, but we see. Hold on, we see the results and see what's happening. It can't go on for. Yeah, I totally agree with you. It can't go on forever. It really can't go on forever. At some point, we are going to have to. So, the board, not us fans, although some fans think they are above the board and getting him trying to be sacked already. But at some point, it has to be sorted out. And if it is the manager, then I'll agree with whatever they do. I'll agree. I mean, I'm back for the Chelsea game, like I think I've already said. I've confused Reader this morning with something about the Chelsea game. But it's 3 years ago to this weekend coming that I had a full-on rant about Brendan Rodgers going, and everyone got on my back about Brendan Rodgers going. Oh no, he should have stayed. He should have. Look what happened. Look what happened. But I'm just saying, times there's been a lead up to this, and it's gonna happen sooner or later. Like I say, I'm not fully there, but I'm going that way.
I'm more than happy to give him the next couple of games because there is some winnable games coming up. But I think the point is, and even Phil said this: the next 3 or 4 games, if you're still and you are slowly falling down the table, then you would see sense, see sense, sorry, because there's no sense about it. You can think what you want, but you would see a change in your mind to say that you want to go for Cooper out instead of Cooper in, and it all depends on how we do in the next couple of games. I'm not going to say we're going to lose the next 4, but from what I've seen in the last 11 games, or maybe even in pre-season, I don't see us getting the points. I honestly don't. And like Gray says, but we don't see us like winning. I don't think we do either. In my eyes, I don't think we're looking to win.
Yeah.
That's why I think there's a change needed.
I totally understand where you're coming from. Yes, we like Phil said. What if he hasn't put it in capitals?
I know that
he hasn't put it in capitals, but what if we?
I know that. I know that. I'm just saying from what I've seen. I don't think that's possible.
You look at the Premier League in general at the minute, not just Leicester's games, but everyone in general. You can't disagree with this. Everyone's beaten everyone. Who would have thought Man City would have gone 4 games, losing 4 games on the spin? 3 in the league and 1 in the cup, I think it was.
We beat Bournemouth, and then they go Bournemouth go and beat Man City.
Everyone's beating everyone. It's very similar. Not saying it's the same, and I hope it doesn't happen. But it's very similar to the 15-16 season when we won the league. Could Forest take advantage of it? I wish I hadn't said that now. No. I wish I hadn't said that.
But
everyone's beating everything else. Everyone's beating everyone else.
That's the one case I'm going to put in there to say that you don't need the best team to get that far up the league. Again, the reason why, for me, Forest are in that position is because they've got a good manager and he knows how to play against certain teams and he knows how to set up against teams he's playing against. You don't need a brilliant team. That team that they're playing now aren't top 10. They were relegation the last couple of years. They've just got a good manager in now who knows how to set a team up, and that's the difference between Cooper and someone like Santos.
Here's one that Phil's put. I know he's the boss, and I don't like putting up the boss's comments all the time. But if we beat Chelsea, are we going to get off Cooper's back, or will you still jump on at the next defeat? That's the thing. No. If we beat Chelsea, will it still be, I'm still Cooper out, even though we beat Chelsea?
I will be. Yeah, I will be.
Will you? You're not going to flip-flop about?
No, because I've seen enough to know that he's not good enough. He might get a lucky win, or he might get a win against Chelsea because Chelsea weren't the better on the day. But the way we set up, I'm sorry.
If we beat Chelsea, it's because Chelsea weren't that good.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that maybe Cooper gets it right, but he only gets it right. I don't think he's got it right this season. As much as people say yes, the wins he got it right. Every press conference, he says it wasn't good enough. We didn't get it right. We didn't do enough to win the games. That's down to him. I'm sorry. Yes, the players need to be scoring goals or whatnot, but you need to get the setup right and how to play right before you even get going. And for me, he's shown that out of the 11 games he played in this season, 7 or 8 he's not got right. So I don't know. I don't think he's good enough, in my personal opinion. But if he beats Chelsea, plaudits to him. But I honestly can't see it, and that's because of what I've seen before. And I'm not saying that we won't. I just from what I've seen before, I can't see a win coming in.
Well, let's put it this way. I'm coming back from Spain. I know Graham's coming back from Dubai. So we're making an effort to get back to the game, even though some people that live in Leicester aren't even going to or don't go to the games. We're making an effort to come back, and I'm hoping for a decent performance. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm spending this money to come back. So me and Graham are hoping.
Enjoy this 6-0, mate.
Well, I'll see some goals if not. Yeah. We're hoping for a decent performance. At least we're making an effort to come back. Unlike some,
hat-trick.
Unlike some, no, don't say that. Unlike some that live in Leicester that don't go to the games, but that's totally another topic. On that, like I say, I'm there next Saturday for the game. I'm flying on Friday night. Anyone wants a beer with me after the game, I'll be in and around. I'll be at the local hero. I'll be in the Symphony Rooms, one of the two. Reedy, I owe you that beer. Are you having a beer with me after the game?
Yeah, go on then. If I must.
Oh, only because I owe you a beer. That's all it is.
If I must.
If you must. I'm not going to talk about Chelsea scores and stuff like that. We'll do that on Phil's show. Do that on Thursday night, the Tactics show. That's Callum says KDH won't play. I think he will actually, Callum. I think he will. To be honest,
definitely come on. He'll definitely come on if it's not.
Just have plenty of beer, Jamie. I might have to after the game. It all depends. I could be celebrating. I could be commiserating. I could be crying in my beer. I could be going back home and putting the wallpaper up and papering over the cracks if we win, like some people say. Reedy was trying to work out what I was going to say then.
Hey,
yeah.
I'd much rather see a win, but I can't see it happening. I can't.
Right, yeah. So that's where I'll be. I'll be either Fox and Sword start off with, then either the Symphony Rooms. Well, Terence, you come and say hello to me. Make sure you say who you are.
I'm not going in there if Terence is going in there.
Well, do you know Terence then?
Yeah, he goes
on your bus.
Yeah.
Oh God, you can buy. Yeah, really, you'll have to buy him a beer, won't you?
No, he can buy me one. He deserves it.
Oh, you're going home on the train then, are you?
Yeah.
Rightio. All right then, lads and lasses. Reedy, thank you, pal. It's all done. And dusted. You've got Phil's show. Let me get this right. You've got Phil's show Monday night, 7:30. You've got the Football Focus on the Thursday night at the same time, 7:30. And are you doing Thursday or Friday your Tactics show?
It'll be Thursday. It'll be Thursday about midday because the game's on 12:30 on the Saturday, isn't it?
12:30 on the Saturday. Like I say, I'll see you all there. I'll see you there.
Unfortunately,
really, much appreciated, and we shall speak to you through the week, mate.
Yeah, see you in a bit. See you on Saturday.
See you on Saturday. If I don't see you through the week, I'll see you on Saturday through the window. See you later, pal.
See you in a bit.
See you later. Cheers for watching. Thanks a lot. Much appreciated. Absolutely fantastic for you lot to get out your pit at 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning to come and watch me. It's much appreciated that everyone watches me and just watches me waffle on. It's absolutely fantastic. Much appreciated, like I say, over all these years. That's what keeps me going. You lot out there. Like I say, I'm there for the Chelsea game. Please come and see me. Come and say hello. Tell me your name, because remember, you see me, but I don't see you properly. So make sure you tell me your name, because a lot of people out there I know by names only. So it's ciao, ciao, adios, goodbye, yakida. Come on, you foxes.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.